let's start with Aritra. Hi, Aritra.
No, ma'am, you ask someone else first. First, I would
Oh,
listen and then I would answer.
oh, I see.
I
Oh,
like to
okay.
listen.
You'd like to listen. You like to copy, don't you? Okay, Veena.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Veena. I'm just picking on you. I'm just joking. Um, so, Veena, the big question for today: what difference have you seen, and what changes did you see from the when lockdown first started to the later lockdown days?
In the first lockdown, like people were stuck where they were, no
Mm-hmm.
food, no water, nothing. Government has to provide some NGOs also went there and helped them.
Mm-hmm.
But in the second lockdown, the people thought like when the shopping malls opened, the people ran to the shopping mall like they have never seen the shopping mall. They ran to parlors, they ran everywhere like they have not seen anything, and they spent lots of money buying silly things in the second lockdown.
In the second lockdown. So you didn't have it in the first lock. You didn't have any of this craziness in the
No,
first
but
lockdown.
because people were afraid because of corona. They were afraid. They were thinking if we'll go out, the corona will we will be COVID positive and we'll die. But in the second lockdown, people thought, oh, it's now 4 months or 5 months. Now we will not die. It's
Oh
just
my goodness.
corona is nothing, but it's just in our mind. We have to just fight with our mind.
And I'm a bit amazed because we had what things did anything go out of stock in the second lockdown, especially when everyone flooded the shops?
Like what I remember, the in second lockdown, the wine shop was open and it was out of stock. Like people were running for the wine, like they were rushing.
Wine.
Yes,
Oh wow.
lot of my
That's
friends
funny.
and called me that they have sent their wife to stand in the line because ladies line was very small and gents line was very big.
Oh my goodness, that's so it's funny. I'm
It's
sorry,
very
but it's
funny.
funny.
I told matlab wine, why do you need wine? They told 5 months we were without wine. Don't, you can't imagine, we can't live without wine.
Well, we were out of toilet paper. Everyone went crazy for toilet paper in the first lockdown, and then we were put on a ban of how many like hand sanitizers, baby wipes, um, or anti-bac wipes that every household could buy. Like if you went into a shop, you could only buy 2 or 3. You couldn't buy 4 packs. You weren't allowed. Or even vegetables. Like at one point, you could only buy 2 apples because you couldn't have 3 apples because everything food was going like out of stock. There was no pasta. We couldn't buy pasta
No,
and rice and things like this. It was
everything was
mental.
enough in our country. Everything was enough. Only one thing was not enough was wine.
Wine, wine.
I don't know why people were just running for the wine.
Everyone
Every
wanted to get really
yes,
drunk and sleep through the whole lockdown.
30. I remember one of my friend, he bought 50,000 wine. I told you could have donated it to me.
50,000.
Yeah. In one day, I remember it was almost 80 to 90 crores of sale all over India.
Oh my goodness. Right, I think India's where the party's at, so that will probably be coming there.
Now also we
You're having a
have
way
party.
better lockdown than us.
Now, Christmas Eve, everyone is having a party. They are throwing party for the Christmas Eve. We are not
Okay.
afraid of corona. No more corona in this world.
I was going to say, yeah, it doesn't seem like the second lockdown was taken seriously since everyone flooded the shops. So the second lockdown was like, oh well, no one's getting corona. Let's go to the shop. It
Yes.
seems it seems to
I
be the
also
case.
in second lockdown I bought lots of clothes, and when I bought the clothes, I then after buying that I was thinking, where will I wear these clothes? Like these are useless because we are in the home, we are not going anywhere. And then also I bought the clothes.
I still do that now. I'm like I bring out the best dresses and where are you going? Nowhere. I'm just going to party on my own in my own house. Well, what can you do? But you can always do that. You can always dress up
Yeah, I
and then
do.
go into your pajamas again.
Yes, I do that. Sometime I do that.
So how do you feel? How do you feel your government has changed the way they've handled the first lockdown to the second lockdown? Now, apart from the people and bulk buying wine, how has the government changed the way the first and the second lockdown
Like
have been handled?
it differ from place to place. Where I'm living in Jamshedpur, here the traffic police and everyone is very strict. They are checking the people are wearing mask or not wearing.
Mm-hmm.
But when I went to Ranchi, it's just hardly 2 to 3 hours difference, and there no one is bothering about corona. No one is wearing mask. No one is following social distancing. Nothing. And that is the capital of the state. So
Wow.
it's differing from place to place.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Veena. It's been highly entertaining. I'll move on to Aritra now.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening.
Hi, Aritra.
How
Okay.
are you?
Now, have you heard the answers? Are you okay to answer me now?
Yeah.
So, how was the first lockdown different from the second lockdown for you?
Well, when the first lockdown took place, everyone was home. There was no cars on the street, at least for the beginning. Everyone was staying home and following the government rules. But when the days kept on passing, people became more casual. More casual, they thought that coronavirus is nonsense, nothing would happen. And as the second lockdown came, everyone started roaming out of their home and without wearing masks.
Okay. And how do you feel about that? What is your opinion about it?
Well, I would say that people are very foolish, I would say, because they thought that nothing would happen. And because of that, today in our country, there are lots of coronavirus cases.
Okay. And how long do you think the second lockdown is going to last? How long do you think it's going to extend?
I don't think
For?
there is lockdown anymore. For right now, there is no more lockdown. Everyone
There's
is
no more
roaming around.
lockdown.
There is no more
Yeah.
lockdown right now. And but if by chance the second variant of coronavirus that is being found in UK, if it infects our country, then the government may consider to impose another lockdown.
Yeah. I know about that. Yeah. How odd. And what what were the changes as well that you noticed? Like what went out of stock in the shops? Like what did people go crazy for where you live? Was it wine as well?
Well, you mean about shopping?
Yeah.
Well, we have Durga Puja festival. So during Durga Puja, as usually, people went out of their home and bought new cards, new clothes, new jewelers. And also now during the Christmas, people are roaming around in Acropolis Mall, South City Mall, and every all kind of mall
Oh,
without
wow.
caring about the corona.
Okay. And have schools? What did schools do between the first and the second lockdown?
Online class.
Just online classes. They've not like reopened and closed down again or any of this. Just remained online.
Yes.
Okay. Well, at least they're staying safe. Okay. Well done, Aritra. I'll move on to Aman. Hi, Aman.
Namaste, ma'am. Greetings of the day.
Hi. Greetings, guys. By the way, Merry Christmas, because I've not said Merry Christmas to you yet.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, ma'am.
Same to you. Okay, so we're in our second lockdown, and we're going to look at comparing the second lockdown to the first lockdown. What were the differences, and if there were any similarities, what similarities were there in the way people reacted?
Right. Like in the first if I talk about the first lockdown and the second lockdown, I think there is lots of similarity between that. Like only few things is really open, right? But I think the really when people opened up in the fourth lockdown till fourth lockdown. But I think first to second lockdown is similar, right? But the different thing is that the some public services like trains and buses is reopened till second and third October, because like some special buses or trains to in emergency cases, right? Not as usual. So I think this type of changes is there. But if I talk about the in top cities like Mumbai, Delhi, like metropolitan cities, there is a effects of lockdown. But in the normal cities like small cities of India, there is the all things are as usual. Only they follow the first lockdown, but after first and second lockdown, but after that all things is as usual.
Okay. And what, so you said after the second lockdown, business as usual, everything's, up and running except for schools, I assume.
Right. Yeah, schools is also opening, but I think that only ninth class above the ninth is go to school. Not all the students. Not open for all the students.
Okay. And what went out of stock in your area where you live?
Out of stock.
Yeah, out of stock in the
Like
shops.
like in the most of the cases, I think lockdown wines, wine shop, or all type of are really out of stock. But in Bihar is a dry state basically. Like in my state, where I am, is a dry state, right? But all the parts of India is really noticed by the news is that this wine stocks are really low.
Okay, so nothing really went out of stock. Everything was.
No, wines basically
Oh,
alcohols.
the wine. Okay, sorry, we didn't
Yeah.
didn't catch that. Okay, so again with the wine. Okay, and how has the government? How do you feel the government has changed, if at all, between the first and the second lockdown? How has it changed its way of dealing with it? Has there been any noticeable difference, or?
Yes, there are few changes like people are like more sure about all the things, like where you have to go. They maintain all the data that from like if I'm traveling from train, then they take all my details that from where I go, like from this
Mhm.
station to there, right? But I think I say that first and second lockdown is most of the cases that are similar, not so much opened all the things. But after third, fourth, all the things is really open, gonna open.
Okay. And what is your opinion about this? What was your opinion about how the second lockdown has changed? What do you think people should be doing?
I think that from the starting, of the lockdown, like the first lockdown is not should open. Like from the starting, sorry, from the starting of the lockdown, first we have opened all the things, because now it is very casual, and now the uh, corona patients and all the things is very high, but because at that time that it is too much rush, there's too much different type of things we don't know about it. So I think government tried decision at ourselves, right? After all, government or any institution is looking for all the public help or public going to care for public, so its decision is right.
Okay. I didn't catch
But
a lot of that because your
after
your
happening it,
bandwidth is low. Could you repeat that?
but I speak. Yes, ma'am. I say that any institution is take any decision, right,
Hmm.
to like lockdown, to maintain, to care for his public, right? After all, after sometimes after we know that its decision is right or wrong, but
Hmm.
at that time, government takes the right decision. So I really follow government decisions.
The government rules and regulations. Okay, good.
Right.
Well done. So I'll move on to Khushbu.
Okay, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am. Good
Okay.
evening.
Hello. So how do you feel lockdown changed?
Yes, ma'am. Lots of changes in March or in July. I think in the March, in early lockdown,
Mhm.
have changed the way Earth moves, transport networks, other human activities being shut down. Malls, restaurants, offices, school, all are shut down in the first lockdown. And
Mhm.
just we are quarantined at home that time, and that is a very difficult period with family member, how to manage the house and how to manage the work in the quarantine period. I
Mhm.
think starting 3 months are very critical with all the people in the world also.
Okay.
And in the second lockdown, maybe something is opened. Like not in the big situation, it's like a emergency situation. Something is open. Sorry. Like some transports are open, like some flights, buses and cars, like private,
Mhm.
all are open for in the second lockdown. And family members are start traveling with with very sanitized way, like social distancing. all
Mhm.
the all the things are very what very taking very in the situation, like how to manage that time quarantine and after quarantine with family. I think I also managed that time very hard quarantine period, or this time also in July. And
Mhm.
after July, now we all are not safe at home also. Just we are going outside for little things and come back with like use mask, sanitizer, and all the things are using. With
Okay, so you're coming back with used masks.
yes, use mask. We can't go without mask. I think
Oh,
mask
oh, okay. You
you
have to
have to
use
use.
masks. Okay,
Yes,
you have to use masks.
you have to
Okay.
use mask and sanitizer and social distancing. Take all the things in a very minor way, like very disciplined way. Our lifestyles are going in the very disciplined way. But with kids also, in the starting
Mhm.
March to 3 months, the schools were closed that time. But now it's open, and we know how to do classes, online classes with kids and with adults also. So I
Okay,
think
so
this lockdown we learn a lot. What is the meaning of quarantine? What is the meaning of social distancing? How to manage online classes, and how to do household works with family and kids also. I learned a lot this period. I think this is a very critical phase, 2020. And
okay. Mhm. Continue, continue.
after I think 2021 also, we take lots of disciplined manner. We learned a lot after 2020. We learned in 2021 also. We
Mhm.
can't travel. Traveling is not easy with kids that time. And only some flights and trains are open in emergency situation only, for emergency situation.
Okay. And with regards, so you think the second lockdown was better than the first lockdown in a way?
Yes.
Okay. You think your government handled it better the second time round, or the people? Who was it did the government enforce new rules and regulations, or do you think the people took it more seriously in your area than in others?
Ma'am, I think government is very taking very useful steps for human beings also. In all the worldwide, all the governments are taking lots of steps for
Mm-hmm.
for this coronavirus, taking good measures also to
Mm-hmm.
how to handle this situation. This is, I think, this is a very critical situation in the worldwide.
Yes, and it is worldwide, yes. And what about things that have been a bit strange, like things that have gone out of stock in the shops in your area? What were they? Like, what did people go crazy for? Don't tell me it's wine again.
No, ma'am. In this my area, there is no wine shop.
Okay, so what did people go crazy for?
Ma'am, go crazy for only like household things like
Hmm.
grocery, fruits, and vegetables.
Okay, all right. Um, well done, Kishbu.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'll move on to Prapti now.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Hi, Prapti. How are you?
I'm fine, ma'am.
So, can you tell me what was the difference for you between the first lockdown and the second lockdown? What differences did you see?
Ma'am, early lockdowns, there were a dramatic situation in March. There were chaos in the markets. Also, the prices rise up, and people become so scared, and they don't go out of their homes and or meeting to their relatives. But in late lockdown, people become so fearless, and they were pretending as like nothing has happened, and economy also came down. So yeah.
So the economy suffered.
Yeah.
Okay, so the economy suffered. And so now in the second lockdown, you can see the results of the economy suffering from the first lockdown, but has the second lockdown in a way improved economy because people don't care anymore and are going to work? Has the economy improved?
Ma'am, it's improving, but not so much. But yeah, it's improving.
Okay, and what are your feelings about it? How do you think people should be acting in the second lockdown? Should everyone be not caring, or do you think everyone should be a bit more like the first lockdown and remain vigilant and be cautious?
Ma'am, if we see that the virus has not ended, it has means it decrease is its power, but not ended. So they should means fear about it, and they should go only when they are in need. But people were means roaming here and there as like nothing has happened. So they should fear
Okay, and what has the
only
government?
in emergency case. Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't sure whether you finished or not. Apologies for interrupting you. So what do you think the government should do about it? Should the government do something about it?
Ma'am, government is only already there means they are setting up the rules, but now people are so fearless that they are not listening anything and they are moving here and there. So yeah.
Okay. And how has the lockdown affected you? How has the second lockdown affected you different from the first lockdown?
Ma'am, means earlier I was so feared about it, but for me also now I am not that much means I'm not that much scared, and now also one means sometimes I go out to meet my friends because from a very long I don't meet them. So
Yeah,
yeah, for me also.
you're in a way you're like you're a bit maybe carefree as well, like the other people, but
Yeah. Yes,
I
ma'am.
can't blame you because it is tiring being inside
Yes, ma'am.
for months on end and not seeing anyone. Um, so I'm not judging you at all, but I mean I understand like that it's been very hard. Okay, and my next question to you is, how long do you think this lockdown will last? How long do you think the second lockdown will last?
Ma'am, I think in March or February it will means I guess so. Mean vaccine will come, but I don't know exact. So yeah.
And what did people go crazy for in your area? What went missing in the shops? What
Ma'am,
couldn't you find?
obviously it is wine, but there also means there also means cures of that groceries.
And grocery shopping.
Yeah.
Okay. Well done. All right, Prabhati, thank you very much. I'll move on to Yuraj now.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yuraj,
Good evening, ma'am.
good evening. Is your dad here?
No, ma'am.
No, it's just you. All right. Just checking, just in case. Okay, so Yuraj, can you let me know a bit, how did the first lockdown differ from the second lockdown? What was different?
Ma'am, actually, I'm saying you my own opinion that in first lockdown, I was feeling like, how will I leave? Because my first lockdown was off one day, and
Hmm.
it was like we don't have to go outside from our home. Then that's why I was thinking that how will I do this? How can I live without playing outside? So
Hmm.
that kind of thinking I was thinking, but
Okay.
but ma'am, it's a kind of practice now. But in second lockdown, we was free to do to like play 1 hour or 2 hours. So I think
Okay,
it is,
so there was more freedom for you in the second lockdown.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. And how do you feel about it? Excuse me. Do you feel happy that there is more freedom, or do you feel maybe, oh, we should really still be a bit more careful?
Yes, ma'am. We should still be very careful, but I think that it is good for me because I just have to play. That's
You
all.
just want to play. Yes, I understand. And so, how do you think now you're going to handle the second lockdown? Do you think you're going to handle it well now because you can play, you feel happier?
Yes, ma'am. I think I can handle it well.
You can handle it well now. Okay. And my next question to you is, how has it affected your schooling?
Ma'am,
How has it? Mhm.
it has not affected my schools that much, but because ma'am, I'm learning through online classes, and I'm not
Mhm.
feeling something like I'm not studying in offline classes. It is normal for me.
Okay. And do you feel like online classes are better than going to school, or do you prefer going to school? What do you
No,
prefer?
I will prefer going to school.
You prefer going to school.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And how has it affected your like your things you buy at the store, or well, your parents buy at the store? Did mum and dad complain of things going out of stock other than wine?
No, ma'am, nothing is like that. Like
Okay.
everything is normal in store.
Everything has been normal for you in stock
Yes, ma'am.
in the store. Okay. And how do your friends feel about the lockdown? What did you hear from your friends about the lockdown?
Ma'am, they feel good that because they are not going to school, they are just enjoying full day. Sometimes they said that, ma'am, there's network issue, I cannot hear you properly.
Oh,
And these kind of things they say, these
hmm.
kind of excuses they make.
I'll keep these in mind when my students tell me that now. I'll be like, hmm. Okay. And are you you're looking forward now to lockdown being over, or
Yes, ma'am, definitely lockdown will be over.
okay. You're looking forward to it. You can't
Yes,
wait.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, guys, well done. So at the side, I've just left you a couple of things for vocabulary, like remaining vigilant and cautious, and sanitizers, masks, and things like that. Just a couple of things. I wish you all a Merry Christmas, and I'll see you all
Bye,
tomorrow.
ma'am.
Bye,
Bye.
ma'am.